To today's stream. Gotta get myself organized and situated. So it's going to take me a minute before I get into this stream. Alright, I'll just post whatever, I don't care. Post that, post on YouTube. Start up this game. I don't know what levels I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try to get through some stuff. I'm gonna try to play this game, get some achievements. Alright. Okay, good. Get into this game. See what races and stuff I can do. I'm getting close to doing these ones. Let's see what this is all about. See, it looks like a simplified car. It's like right now all these other cars they had me driving. I'm glad I got through all those races. Probably gonna have me go through some more, but dang, that one car.
For those making their way to the stands here at the Sydney Motorsport Park for this exciting grid, and I've just been
Oh, it's a time attack. Okay, cool. It's like, all right, it's like, where you gonna see? It's like if he would have just made up his mind on where he was gonna go. It's like, bruh, nah, you getting hit. Don't you try it. Out the way. People ain't like act like they can't drive in this game. I just start hitting people. I'm like, y'all gonna move out the way. This is a Skyline. It's actually a nice car, I ain't gonna lie. This person, I swear. Levi Vandenberg. I'm like, yeah, you can't drive with a name like that. No, you can't drive. Like, named after the old, like, 1800s president. Bro, what is you? Like, all you trying to do is pass these people up. They want to, like, swerve back and forth in the road. Bruh, how is that even possible? You were doing perfectly fine and spun out from nothing. Prefer apples. Yeah, apples are good. I used to eat apples like it was nothing when I was a kid. I remember I stopped though, like when as I was getting older, I was like when I was losing teeth, I was like, that mess hurt. Doing good though, I'm doing good. How about yourself? That's why I probably like apple juice so much. I was like, bruh, I was eating apples like it was nothing. That was the race? Nah. That was really the race. I thought it was gonna be more than that. Wow, alright. How I unlock this one? Red for sure over green. Yeah, I always ate the red apples. I mean, like, yeah, green apples, it ain't like I got beef with it. If there was ever a time where I had to eat me some green apples, I mean, I ain't gonna, you know, be like, oh, nah, I can't do that. But, no, I liked them. They were good. What kind of cards I got with this? Shave my face. An interview. Date later this month. Okay, alright. Hopefully it goes good. Cool, cool. Kind of forward focus. Forward focuses, I don't know about them. They don't look right to me. What races can I do with this? Eventually I am gonna have to do that race. I should sell that car. Have you heard of My Hero Academia? No. Was that a show or something? Sound like an old, like, 70s or 80s, like, TV show. Becoming, like, on TV Land or something. I guess I'll go with this car. It's a movie coming out based on that show. And that's me and this chick gonna see. Reserve our seats. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, last night I had just watched Halloween Kills. That's a pretty good movie. That's a really good movie. It's definitely a movie I recommend watching. It's like Michael Myers, he was tearing things up in that movie. I was like, bro, it ain't even that deep. Like, you this bad for what? That man just gone killing sprees, and it's like, does even, like, does that add up to you? Like, does that make any sense to you? The guy that plays as him, I thought he was been taller. That dude's like, I think 2 inches taller than me. Mixed things about it. First I heard say it. Yeah, it's a good movie. Cause Rotten Tomato gave it bad ratings, and I don't trust nothing that Rotten Tomato says. Gave him high. That bro been mad since he was a kid. Like, nah. It's deeper than that. But I know in like the first one, they didn't even explain like, well, I think it was, I don't know, maybe he was getting bullied. I'm like, so you just become this crazy like psychopath, like monstrous killer that can't feel pain. I'm just waiting for him to talk. That's what I'm waiting for. That man did all these movies and ain't said not one word. He just breathes. He be breathing hard too. I'm like, bro, do you got asthma? You need an Michael Myers. It's confirmed. He has asthma. That's why he be walking. He's like, I can't run. He's like, that asthma attack gonna kick in. Next thing you know, he's like, forget running. That man be walking everywhere he goes. It's like the ending was crazy though. I'll tell you that much. The ending was pretty crazy. Overall, the whole movie was crazy, but the ending was like, dang. Should do a movie of him going through his daily, like walking his dog, picking up groceries. He smokes Newports, breathes, never running fast. But yeah. Yeah, they should do like what if he was like never crazy and he honestly, but I still feel like that he would be kind of like somewhat crazy, but just like he's at his job, they're like, look, like, Michael, we're gonna have to dock your pay because you was late again this week. I'm telling you, just catch the bus. You do not have to walk into work every morning. He just starts breathing hard. Boss is like, all right, we're not gonna dock the pay. We're not gonna do that. It's like, you're right. He doesn't even have to say words. It's like everybody's just automatically scared of him. Stabs upper management. I'm saying, like, he just goes and puts his knife on his desk. Boss is like, hey, that's all you had to say. So boss calls up the upper management. He's all like, look, I can't dock him his pay. But even like in the older movies, it's like he just, I don't know, they never really explained like his like what led up prior to, like, I know they were trying to like talk on it a little bit and like they did these like Rob Zombie Halloween movies that came out, but they just skipped like out because they made so many other Halloween movies, but they skipped out on them all and just focused on the first one and what led in after that. Really, Kane's his brother. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Kane is pretty much like WWE's version of Michael Myers. Like prior, before he was talking and all that stuff, and he showed up as like Undertaker's like demon little brother. Kane was tearing stuff up. That's like one thing that like I would like to go back to like the 90s and watch wrestling, because Kane's debut, I would be like that. It's like one of those like debuts where it's like it just can't be untouched. Scary. Yeah, when he unmasked himself like in 2003, and Rob Van Dam was in the ring. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy unmasking. I always like watching that video because you can hear somebody in the crowd scream like, "Lady, what are you screaming for? Like, it is not that serious." People stay screaming like I don't know why. It's like you'll always hear that one person where it's like they forgot the memo of wrestling being scripted. And his eyes and stuff. Yeah. Because I think it was supposed to like be like he was burnt. Because I know there was like that's what it was. Like he was left in the fire, and that's why his face looked like that. Burnt me. Yeah. They should do like, because I know they did like this whole movie with like Undertaker and yeah, they did like the whole movie where with him and New Day. They should do one where it's like Kane and Undertaker, but it's like a serious movie. Yeah, I've been studied all that stuff. That's something I was like, once I start getting into wrestling, I kind of just start like at least like my favorite wrestlers. I did like background checks on them, see how they debuted, see some of their like best matches and stuff. definitely did that with Kane, because Kane, he was one of those guys where I'm like, I like this character. His character was cool. Then seeing like how he was even when he started, I'm like, dang, he's always been kind of scary. That's crazy. He was never 7 feet tall. I think they said Kane was like 6'8" or something like that. I hate horror movies sitting on their lap, not using it. Brothers of Destruction, going to rampage in town. Or they can have it where like it's Undertaker, but then like Kane just comes up out of nowhere. Like Kane is, I feel like that should be the last one. Like it introduced, I feel like the movie, it has to end off with like introducing Kane's character, and then then the second one is like Kane and Undertaker going up against each other, and then the third one is like where they go up, like, you know, or they're tearing the town up. The Fiend. Yeah, that's if he comes back to WWE. If he don't come back, then I'm like, I don't see that happening. Ways to go about it. Yeah. I highly doubt that unless he comes back, but other than that, I don't think that'll ever happen. Plus, it's like Bray Wyatt was never a part of the original storyline with Kane and Undertaker, so that's why I don't think it won't happen. But they can do a movie about Bray Wyatt too. Like I'm saying, it's funny how they're like, oh, we doing these budget cuts and we're doing all these different things. I'm like, you guys could have been doing like legitimate movies about them instead of doing these like, oh, crappy kid movies they were doing. They letting it. Yeah, no, they are. They're all like, oh no, let's do a kids movie involving Triple H saving some kids. So cutting exactly. Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. It's crazy how like fans can come up with better storylines and better things than the, you know, because now they're starting to listen to the fans. Like I think that's like one of the more so the reasons why Big E is where Big E won Money in the Bank and became champion. Because they had Big E trending that whole day of Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And then with Monday Night Raw, they had his name trending the whole day. Just trying to see the chaperone. Yeah. That's why I was like, yeah, they messed up big time on their movies. I'm like, yeah, instead of getting rid of the wrestlers, you guys should have been getting rid of the writers. Movies, ideas to them. Yeah. Like, good luck with that. I highly doubt they'll take it in. If they do, it'll be like a last minute, like they're desperate. With wrestlers. No, they are. They are. Those movies don't even be making sense half of the time. Like, why is this happening? I guess they were trying to do something like that with Kane when he did that See No Evil movie, but I never seen it. I didn't care too much for it, so... But yeah, I'm like, they could definitely do some better movies. Apart from See No Evil, because that was good. Randy Orton's the only other guy I've seen with a decent movie. Yeah, didn't he have like a war movie? John Cena, I felt like his first movie that he did, The Marines, I thought that movie was good. Then with the ones with The Miz, I was like, wasn't even caring for those movies. But that first one that John Cena did, I thought that one was good. 12 Rounds, I didn't really care too much for that. What other movie did John Cena do? Then The Rock, I honestly, he's the only wrestler with like the best wrestling movies out there, or best movies out there. He's the only wrestler to like kill it, but The Rock, he just has so much character. That's the thing. I think that's why his movies are so good, because he just has so much character that he can bring to the movies. Rather than like with Kane, I'm like, you guys should have had some more so surrounding his original character, and then he could have did something with that. They could even do a storyline with him, like with what he's doing now, like him being the governor or mayor, whatever he is, or whatever city he's from. And then have it where he's like this this demon killer that goes around killing everybody. They could do that. I'm saying there's so many like opportunities and things that they can do. It's just they just let all that stuff go.
Listen up. Hold the lead. Last lap.
I'm like, yeah, it's growing up just writing so many different stories. I'm like, it's kind of easy for me to come up with stories for wrestlers. I'm like, you name any wrestler, I can come up with a story. Even Eva Marie, I could come up with a whole story thing for her. So at least then people, I feel like if I were to come up with a story for her, I feel like people would like her. I think 12 rounds is super, super good. But I watched the movie. Blown away. I don't know. I don't remember too much of 12 rounds. It was like, I think I only watched that movie once compared to the Marines. I had watched that movie numerous times. But yeah, I was like, Eva Marie. I'm like, that's like one wrestler. I'm like, dang. Y'all need to do something with her, cuz. Never saw the Marines. It was cool. It was a good movie. They had that one guy, the bad robot from Terminator 2 in there. Who else did they have in there? Yeah, I think that was about it. But yeah, that's how you knew a WWE movie wasn't going to do so good when they had it play in the theaters for like a day or two. And then was like, oh, okay, that's all you guys going to get. What is that person's name? Daniil? I did not understand that. What are some other bad wrestling movies? Yeah, it was like, I remember it was for a while, they were doing a lot of different movies, and then the movies would play in theaters for like a day or two, and then after that, like, they would just take them off. They didn't even add the movies. I don't even think they added them to that streaming service, Peacock. They were like, nah, we just gonna do those movies and just forget that it ever happened. Didn't Mark Henry come out in the movie? He might have. I don't know. I thought he was in Cyberpunk, though. I remember there's that one character. There's a character in Cyberpunk 2077 that looked just like Mark Henry. I was like, hey, yo, any wrestling fan that played that game, I know that was the first thing that came to mind. We got 2007 Mark Henry in the video game. Like when he had the half dreads and world's strongest man. Yeah. Mark Henry, I heard some like people are not liking him now because he came out in some interview and said like, oh, wrestlers today are soft. They need to get bullied like how wrestlers were back in the day. I'm like, fam, I'm like, that's why you were one of the older wrestlers and not one of these newer wrestlers. You try to keep on that same energy today, you getting fired. AEW, surprisingly, they didn't fire him after he made those comments, but I was expecting it to happen. I know they're probably, AEW is probably like, hey, yo, from now on, don't you say anything else in interviews. Just say no comment. WSC. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bro, I watch wrestling every single day. Wasn't good either. Yeah, but I just think in this day and age, you can't talk on bullying in a good way. I feel like that's something he should have just kept to himself. It's like you openly talked about like how it's okay to bully people, and it's like, oh, that's what's gonna make the wrestlers tough. I'm like, no, the wrestlers being themselves and being, you know, greater wrestlers, being great like The Rock or being great like Andre the Giant, you know, being great like those type of wrestlers, you know, that's what's gonna make them a bigger and better wrestler. But you saying, oh, they need to get punked out and backstage, that's not going to that ain't gonna change nothing. That's not gonna help anybody. That's why he was trending, and people was like, yeah, it's good that he didn't come up in this day and age, because he definitely got fired from some companies. He probably would have been blackballed like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. That's crazy with Ric Flair, though. They took his woo thing out in the intro when they show the wrestling shows. You don't hear that woo no more. I was like, he had it coming. And it's like, after that Dark Side of the Ring documentary thing that they had him in, yeah, he had it coming. It's like, you would think, like, the wrestling industry wouldn't have all these problems and issues, yet wrestling industry, it's like one of the, like, it's crazier than any other sports industry. It's crazier than football, basketball, soccer. You don't hear that type of stuff with anybody else. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, Ric Flair, I'm like, man, you done messed up. Him, Hulk Hogan, where there's some other old wrestlers. Then this whole war with WWE and AEW, I'm like, bruh, they should hold an event. Be like AEW versus WWE and just have like an all-out brawl. Now, if WWE wants to make some money, that's what's going to make them some money. It's like, you better settle your differences with Tony Khan and have like an all-out war between your greatest wrestlers. This famous walkout. They can't. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have aired that. They'd have been like, this man's high. Something wrong with him. I'm saying, like, AEW, WWE did something like that, because it'll pretty much would be like WWE and WCW all over again. Because I'm like, but this time it's going to be a legitimate, it ain't going to be like no storyline situation. Like, nah, it's going to be, you know, actual, like, you know, there's going to be an actual, like, rivalry going on between both companies. And they're going to be like, oh, WWE got enough money to buy out AEW, which I highly doubt Tony Khan would ever sell AEW, and that's his like leading moneymaker. Tony Khan, he sells AEW. I'm like, man, you're definitely on drugs. Something wrong with you. I would never sell the company that's like, they probably, like, every week, that company with pay-per-views, with the shows that comes on TV, them guys, man, they're what WWE used to be. Like, it's crazy. AEW is eventually gonna start doing that in the middle of the shows. AEW was the most watched show this week, beating out MLB, NBA, NFL, beating out all the sports. Wait, what? What is that? Where is that coming from? The wrestler winning champion. The car smelled like weed. Where is that? I don't even under. I was talking about AEW, WWE. I don't even know where that came from. It's like the previous conversation or something. I got so caught up talking about AEW, WWE going at it. I don't even know. I don't remember what I was talking about beforehand. Bruh. Type fast. Oh, okay. Me fact, yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, you might want to refresh the stream or something, because I was like, it had me kind of confused. I think I only talked on it briefly. I thought I was like, dang, was I talking about like failed drug tests or something with? But yeah, RV, everybody knows Rob Van Dam, he smokes weed. That's something that it's like I don't even need to like somebody needs to tell me that. I knew that from the jump. Ever since I first seen him, I was like, oh yeah, he definitely got that personality. But I don't think I ain't never heard no wrestlers being on crack. Maybe weed, but not crack. So I know that don't happen. Take to try. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. Because I'm like, wait, he's getting up there in age. And plus all them wild stunts he used to do, like, that man was like the leading man. He was like how John Cena was for Monday Night Raw. That was him. He was that, but for ECW and TNA and all them other companies. Like, he put his body out there on the line a lot. So that's why I'm like, yeah, he might want to start him a weed line. I know another wrestler. I feel like that guy though, Matt Riddle, like he comes off as it, but I'm like, I think he's just trying a little bit too hard to come off as a pothead. I feel like he's like the one dude that's not a pothead. I feel like it's gonna come out. He's gonna come out after wrestling, like when he retires and stuff, and they're gonna ask him, so do you like smoke or drink? And he's like, oh no, not never once. Riddle, yeah. He does not come off, like, he just comes off as somebody that's just trying a little bit too hard. Like, he's like a early 2000s or like a 90s pothead. Like, when like, was making its, like, round. Him, he just comes off as, looks like, yeah, that's something like that, but then got like that pothead personality, and I'm like, he just don't come off as somebody that smokes. Like, he might, I don't know, but he don't come off as that type of person. I feel like he be having like some of the most like intellectual conversations too. Like, so, Mr. Riddle, what is your thoughts on politics? He's just like, oh, well, I just think the political game is just so bizarre and out the ordinary right now. Like, he just be having conversations and it's like, dang, I didn't realize he was that smart. Someone can during draft. Yeah, yeah, that's, I'm like, well, I don't know. They might be able to get away with some things. But I feel definitely in this day and age, probably not. Nah. Hey, maybe they can get, because, I don't know. They're starting to, like, you know, lift off this, like, weed stuff, so they might be okay with weed, but any like steroids, pills, like all that stuff, they're probably like, nah. Anything that can kill you, nah, stay away from it. Like, if you die by weed, then something wrong with you. It's like maybe synthetic, but if it's like some like, you know, ground grown, like the actual like legitimate real stuff, you die from that. I don't think you ain't gonna die. You gonna think you dead, but you ain't gonna be like actually dead. You might reach like a new level of life, but that's gonna probably be just about it. Dang, this car is fast. I like this BMW. That's a M1. If I ever, bruh, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna get a lot of money. I'm gonna buy that car. That's the thing, like, you know, being a millionaire, I already know, like, when that day does come, bro, I do my own MTV cribs. Show off a car collection, show off my crib. the game right. He probably is. He probably is. I didn't even know they were playing today. I don't keep up on their schedule. I ain't really keeping up with football. Video if you made. Yeah. No, it's definitely something that I would like to do. Do like a car collection. That's one wrestler I heard that got a crazy car. He got like a muscle car collection. Is John Cena. Like, I remember I bought his DVD years ago when they used to do, like, those, like, wrestling documentary DVDs and have, like, their best wrestling matches. And I remember he talked on that. Kitchen table. I wouldn't go all that. I wouldn't go that crazy with it. That's just doing too much. I just want, my thing, I'm a plain and simple person, so I would just only want a plain and simple house. I mean, yeah, I would want it to have, like, some dope features and stuff, but I ain't gonna have no house made out of gold, made out of platinum and diamond and all that stuff. Has grills. Nah, I never will buy a grill. Never in my life. I'm like, grills, they don't do nothing for me. I ain't big in, like, jewelry, like necklaces, rings, and watches and all that stuff. I'll probably get me a fancy watch, but it'll probably be like an Apple Watch or like one of them, like, Galaxy watches or something like that, but I'm not big on, like Floyd Mayweather, for an example. He got an $18 million watch. I'm like, bruh. And I'm like, and you still probably can't tell the time on it. And you know that watch is just all crazy and out the ordinary for no reason. Walks around. Nah. Definitely ain't gonna be doing no Flavor Flav stuff. Like I said, I'm a plain and simple person, so I'll be rich, but I ain't gonna be going all crazy with it. It's like, I have like a big old fancy house, but it ain't gonna be like, oh, it's like this house, it has like a helicopter, you know, landing thing in the inside of it. House splits in two. And they got like this underground bunker. I'm like, I ain't with all that. I just want me a plain old simple house. Get that. 2000 is popular spinning wheel. Nah. Well, actually, no. You know, I probably would actually get that for a car. Nah, that I will get. But I heard those are like, no, those things are illegal now, so I wouldn't be able to like drive it out nowhere. Because they said, like, I remember they said kids was, like, hurting themselves with that. And so they banned those, at least here in the States. Dice on your rear view mirror. Nah. Like I said, I'm a plain and simple person. I ain't gonna be going all out and above and beyond for the stuff that I have. I'll get me some fancy cars, and that's about it. Fancy cars and fancy shoes. Every now and then. Oh, it's okay then. Probably it's down south it's chilled, but I think they say in some states them spinning wheels, the rims are banned, or the people they stop producing them because there's like kids was hurting themselves on it. Yeah, bruh, I don't get how you crave certain things after a conversation. It makes no sense. Talking about cars, and now all of a sudden you want mac and cheese. I don't even know how macaroni and cheese has anything related to do with cars.
Brands Hatch is pumping with excitement for today's event. Kristen, what are your...
I don't know why they won't start me in first place with all the races, so I'm gonna win them. Can't forget. Yeah, but it's still, regardless of the side dishes that you have, I don't know how that has anything to do with cars. This spin. Hell, Once again, I don't know what that has to do with macaroni and cheese. Cheese and yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Seattle, like when the Seahawks lose, we get gloomy. It's actually kind of gloomy today, but nah, it'll be sunny. The thing is, it could be sunny, it could be raining, it could be snowing outside. If the Seahawks lose, it's more so the fans. The fans are just, you know, we just quiet. So yeah, this year we're definitely we're quiet. It's like even if we're doing good, weather can be anything. I think that's why it's like Seahawks, they could be good players, and they can like, you know, play in any weather conditions, but it's just I don't know. I don't know whether it's the coach. I would hate to say it's Pete Carroll because I'm like I don't want to say that because Pete Carroll, you know, he's a good coach. So I don't know I don't know who it is or what's going on, but I'm like y'all need to fix it. Oh yeah, people gonna look at you. They're gonna think you one of these like crazy people in downtown Seattle. It's like the ground is pretty dirty. Maybe if you find like a freshly put, because they always be doing construction out in Seattle, downtown Seattle. Oh my God, like oh constantly. They probably. If I could go out there right now and find a building under construction. Like, that's like if somebody were to challenge me, they would like, find a building under construction in Seattle. I'm like, that's going to be a 5-second video. As soon as you go into Seattle, you're going to see at least one building under construction. Or blocked off because they got some construction stuff going on there. Randy Anito. Yeah, that's like, yeah, they got drugs is big out in Seattle. You're gonna see somebody on drugs or taking drugs. Trying to think. I think that guy, I can't remember if he was, he was definitely on drugs. I seen people then, like, after they took some drugs, they just be all slouched over. They look like a zombie breakdancing. Like, they just body be just all leaned over to the side. I'm like, bro, I don't get it. I think I got like one more race. That close to level, I swear, man. Surprised you haven't found the streets driver license. Bro, I'm positive I've seen Orca cards. I've seen what else? Yeah, you're bound to see people try to like take good care of that stuff and make sure it don't fall out their pockets, but yeah, bruh, you're constantly seeing somebody drop either money or their wallet out in public, so I ain't seen people drop like hundreds of dollars outside. I'm like, hey, bruh, like, What kind of pockets you got where you just lose money like that? I give that stuff back because I'm like, I know I wouldn't have wanted to lose no money and then not have somebody return it back to me. Yeah, it's like, that's like big for some reason out there in Seattle. I think one of the only time I did keep it because it was, I didn't know who dropped it. I just seen $5 just sitting on the ground. So I'm like, hey, I could use this to get me some Red Bull. So I was like, I went, saw it, picked it up, got me a Red Bull. I was like, I was good for the day. It's like $5 is one thing, but $500 like dollars, I'm like, bruh, I don't see how like people can drop that type of money and not realize. I wouldn't even have that type of money on me. I had that money like in a mattress like Mr. Krabs before I had that money in my pocket. And if I did have some money like that on me, I definitely would have my pockets zipped up. That's why anytime if I do go outside, I always make sure I wear sweatpants with zip up pockets. So I'm like, okay, if I lose, like I can't lose nothing. Unless there's like a hole in the pocket, but that's my advice to everybody out there. Invest in you some sweatpants with zip up pockets. You will never lose a phone, wallet, any items in your pockets. You will never lose that stuff. Like, pants ain't got no zip up pockets. I just feel so uncomfortable. So if that answers anybody's questions like why I wear sweats all the time, that's your answer. They got zip up pockets, and I'm like, ain't nothing better than pants with zip up pockets. Now, the question is where can I find some shorts there that has zip up pockets? Because best believe, I find that store that sells that, I'm buying all of them, every color. Speaking of that, I need to go up to the Dick Sporting Goods store, see what other sweatpants they got, because I need to get me some either Nike or Adidas. Whichever ones they got with some zip-up pockets, I'm buying it. What? What did he just say? I'm like, bruh, that man. That's why I just let that man I don't even let him talk no more. Yeah, that store, bro, they have so many different things in there. It's crazy that that store, because it was that, then they had this Big Five store. Big Five don't really be having a whole lot. Although they did have a referee shirt. I was like, I should go in there one day and buy that shirt so I could do some comedy skits and stuff. Fishing. But yeah. Oh yeah, they got like their own little area for fishing. What other things they got in there? Then athletic clothes, of course. I need to go up there and see what kind of like winter jackets they got. Because I'm like, I need to get me a winter jacket. I'd never go to Nordstrom's again to get me a winter jacket. And I'm like, I don't understand that. So how you guys gonna be this clothing store and ain't got no winter jackets? Like, come on, bruh. You got all these designer clothes, but you ain't got no like winter clothes. And we're in like the heart of Seattle. For my crankbaits. Okay. Yeah, I think when I go there, I remember because people were saying that they sell like Jordans there, but it was like the not the expensive ones that I like to get. They had like the ones that was like just whatever. They wasn't the special ones. I'm like, well, that's misleading. Then I go and watch people's videos and they be like, oh yeah, I just found me some like Air Jordan 11s in there. I'm like, what Dick Sporting Goods store are you going to? Because that's the one that I need to be at. One out here, they selling like dad shoes and stuff. The Shafa ones. Yeah. That's what they sell. They don't sell no Air Jordan ones. They sell Shafa ones. Like Air Jordan or Michael Jordan's like long lost cousin that wanted to follow in his footsteps, but he was the complete opposite. That's what I'm actually gonna do. I'm gonna there's these one shoes that I'm thinking about getting, and I'm like, dang, them Nike shoes are mad expensive. They're like the most expensive running shoes of all time. But I'm thinking about getting them because I've been jogging a lot lately, and I'm like, I want the best of the best. I don't know what that means, Wholesome. You're gonna have to translate that. This car is so nice, man. I swear. They be selling. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, they sell dad shoes. They don't sell like shoes for people my age. They're like, yeah, maybe if I was a father of like 4 kids and like, you know, some of them was in middle school, or yeah, half of them was in middle school and the other half was in high school. Other than that, I'm like, fam, I go in there for like Air Jordans. I go in there for like the shoes that matter. They got like the dad shoes, or I'm like, bro, I don't know what I'm supposed to. What am I like, you know, get some freaking shorts above my knees, a tucked in polo shirt, and start up a barbecue? Like, what am I supposed to do with these shoes? Someone said they do. They actually do sell Jordans, but it depends on like which store you're going to. Like the ones guy that I watch on YouTube, he went there and picked up some Jordans one time. And I was like, but for the ones that I tried to look for in there, they was like, they didn't have them. They didn't have no type of that they did. It was like the ones that are like not. It's like not the original Air Jordans. It's like these new modern ones. That's what I need to see, though. I need to see if because if they have these one running shoes I want to get, if they have that at the Nike store in downtown Seattle, I might have to make a trip out there and get them. I haven't been to Seattle in so long. I want to go back out there, vlog around for a little bit. That's what I'm like, what company they need to do is like make like a device for like all social media platforms is GoPro. Because they know like that's where people are going to post their stuff at. If GoPro had like a device that can record, because GoPro cameras are just, they are the most dopest cameras of all time. I'm like, GoPro, they need to come out with a device that can, like, you can post that stuff on there rather than, like, oh, downloading an app on your phone, getting the stuff from there. I'm like, that's doing too much. But GoPro cameras are sick. I like GoPro. That's another thing I need to get some, whatchamacallit, memory cards. Because GoPro cameras, you can't just get any old memory card for it. You gotta get like the biggest and baddest memory cards for them, so you can get like the top tier like quality. Because I think they said those GoPro cameras can go up to like 5K quality. So I'm like, I have 2 cameras that can do that, but at the same time, I'm like, nah, I need to get better memory cards for them. One has one, so I only need to get one. So I'm good on that. I only need one. Hopefully, like, Best Buy has them. I ain't trying to go all out freaking at the borderline of Washington State trying to go to a Best Buy out there seeing if they have it. At the end of the race, that was the end of the race. And that, my friends, is how you do it. With more achievements. Check my phone real quick. Yeah, that's weird. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It's weird. Couldn't eat. Well, you shouldn't eat them. If you're gonna do that, gonna find you something else to eat. So I did these ones. Gotta do this. What's that? What card can I use for that? Oh, these cards? Okay. What about this race? What's this race? Oh, that's why I gotta use that freaking old McDonald's car. I think that's the one I gotta use. Where are these two cars? Honda Civic. How'd that look? Oh, these two cars is better. So I will not be using that Honda Civic. I guess I'll hurry up, try to do this race. Because I don't need to cut my hand. You don't need to cut no shoes or shoes. You don't need to cut no food by hand. There's no reason for it. It's like you only doing that to just like, and you know it's weird because you don't do it in front of people. It's 420. Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, bro, I think you got your dates wrong. Out the... this car. Like, you're gonna move out the way. Why they need both the roads? Like, dang. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry. Bruh. This car ain't got no handling. That's why I do not like this car. I'll be glad when this race is over with. This person act like they... yeah. Go ahead, I'll spin you out. Okay, I did not trust that. They just didn't want to fight over the road and stuff. It's like, bro, move out the way. Like, y'all driving side by side, acting like other cars ain't gonna pass you up. Driving feet. Honestly, though, I'm like, yeah, if they were to put me in the 2K video game, hey, that car spun out. I definitely, sorry, yeah, I would, I'll be that player where I'm like, nah, as soon as I mess up or they don't have the ball go in, I'm like, nah, I wouldn't even, honestly, I wouldn't even want to be in 2K. I'm like, put me in any other game besides 2K. I'd rather be put in The Sims before I get put in 2K. At least then, if my Sims character, if he plays basketball, he'd be making his shots. It's crazy how, like, in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, when you would play basketball with whoever, like, it was good. It was a lot better than 2K. It's like, that's how you know a game's bad, when games that ain't even focused on basketball does better than you. So that's, I'm like, yeah, 2K is just, I wouldn't even want to be in that game. They offered me, nah. I'm like, you guys got another 2K video game, I'll be a part of that, but I do not want to be a part of the basketball game. Comes down scared. I don't know. If they would have to overall fix up that game. That game is way too buggy. It's like, put me in a racing game or put me in a war game like Call of Duty or something. Those would be honestly, those would be the only two games I would want to be, either in a war game or a racing game. Any other game, no. Maybe if it was like the old skate games, like the ones that EA was making, but if not that, nah. This car good? I think this car was good. I'll use this car. You won't ever see. I'll be mad if they put me in the game, but they have me as like somebody that, you know, doesn't have my thing. I'm like, nah. I want to have a big part in the game. If not, don't even put me in it. I know there was a time, though, where they did that at the mall. They said, oh, you should do this body scan thing. And I think I don't know if it was for a video game or for whatever reason, but there might be a video game out there where I'm a part of it, and I'm just standing there. And Minesweeper, what is that? I know, like I said, racing game or war game. I don't know what Minesweeper is, but it sounds like a game I do not want to be a part of. Dang, this is 5. Well, the races are pretty fast, so. And I wish they had gave me a faster car. As you in Hot Wheels, they don't even have people in there. It's just cars. That's what I'm like. It needs to be like a detailed out game, like something like this, or Forza. I definitely, if Microsoft contact me, they were just like, hey, we want you to be in Forza, because I'm like, Microsoft Studios is right out here in Washington, so I definitely would go up there. You be in the next True Crime. Oh, I would definitely take that. Like an acting role in the video game, oh yeah, I definitely would take that. Acting and CGI, if they want me to like do any fighting scenes and stuff, I definitely would do that. That's a game where I'm like, hey yo, whoever was behind that game, why haven't you guys done a remastered version of it yet, or came out with another version of that game? I'm like, it's been all these years. Last one they came out with, I'm like, nah, that doesn't even make any sense. Stunts, yeah, 100% I'll do my own stunts. Cause it's like, what if it's a video game? I'm like, yeah, then I'm like, it ain't like, it's not like I'm gonna get hurt. Even if it was like a movie, I still would do my own stunts. I'm like, just don't have me doing no Tom Cruise stuff, and I think we could be fine. Like, if I'm, flipping over a table, I'm like, okay, I can easily flip over a table. But if you're like, oh no, you gotta jump out of a plane that's gonna blow up, I'm like, so when do we do the CGI version of that? If it's the CGI version, yeah, sure, 100%. They're like, no, we got this. We actually bought this 747, and we attached C4 into the engines, so those will blow up, then you gotta jump out. I'm like, I'm not doing that, so call up Tom Cruise for that.
Final lap. Keep that lead intact.
I think this race actually did go by pretty fast. It's like my teammate didn't even like make it into the top. Like that dude was like all the way in last place. I don't even care for doing the qualifying lap. It's like, hey, bruh. It's like, stay in your own lane. See, my teammate, he's smart. He knows he's just like, oh yeah, he gonna pass us all up. Let me move over to the side. See, teammate, I like him. He cool. Everybody else, they drive right there in front of you. Does my back windshield wiper? My back windshield wiper don't. Wow. That thing just straight up just frozen. Front ones work. On your YouTube, 2015, 16, Cat 1, Pete, LAB cements, but I have a chance with anyone else. What do those guys do? I haven't. LA Beast. I don't know. I might have heard of that name, but what do they do on YouTube? Competition eating. Oh. Yeah, they, I didn't even realize that. Honestly, you can find any type of content on YouTube. You got competitive eaters. You got people that like to be weird with them ASMR videos. What they say. You can find, honestly, about, like, any content on YouTube. Hey, it's crazy. Like, YouTube used to be a place where it's like, oh, you just post like an epic fails and, you know, go viral. Now YouTube, it's like acted out like things. Honestly, it's so different from when I very first got into YouTube. Like, I had to say, I've been through like pretty much like every phase through YouTube. I had to say I did get into it maybe like 4 or 5 years a little late, but wasn't really different. Then I feel like 2012 was like the last year probably for like videos going viral, and then eventually it just got to a point where like people was like 2013 showed up. Then I feel like that's when people really started becoming more creative with videos. YouTube on its early stages. Like I said, I kind of was too, but it was still just like a place where like just, oh, let you know, be viral and stuff. Now I feel like, you know, it's harder to become like, you know, viral on YouTube now. That's why I feel like a lot of videos are like planned out like videos where it's like, you know, maybe if a video that's only a few seconds can go viral, like how videos used to back like 10 years ago, but nah, it's like most videos today, they be having to be like trailers or like, you know, professional like YouTube videos. Trying to be viral back spare cause always. Nah, YouTube back then, I feel like it was always like a place where people would try to. I feel like it's the opposite now. Like, there's people out there that just do YouTube just for whatever reason today. Back then, it was all about viral videos. There wasn't not one person on YouTube all like, I mean, there's people on there that's probably just watching videos, but for the most part, yeah, everybody was trying to go viral with content back then. Four. What does 4 mean? Well, that's how many people were taking YouTube serious back in the day, because I was like, that's probably had to have been the number. Only 4 people. Other than that, I'm like, everybody else is trying to go. Even I was posting like videos and trying to go viral and stuff. Like, content back then just didn't. That's one thing for sure. Content back then just didn't even make any sense. So many random videos. That was a quick race. $30 by the way, to leave soon. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know whether it's going to be after this race or the next race. 4 is just an unlucky number. Can be. There's probably people out there, you know, I don't know. So many lucky and unlucky numbers out there. I don't even know what to believe anymore. It's like, alright, you want to be in that lane? Be in that lane. Don't come over here. From 4, slice of cake, so the number changes 1 higher or low. That's not like unlucky. That's OCD. That's what that is. Where it's like, oh, things have to be at a certain, like, nah, that's OCD. Certainly bad luck. I don't know. To me, I'm like, I don't be paying attention to like numbers like that. Like, oh, 12 is unlucky or whatever. I'm like, bruh. If I got $4 in my pocket, I ain't gonna say I'm unlucky. I'm like, bruh, I could go up to the store and get me a Red Bull. So if it's money, I'm like, fam, $4 is $4.
Good start. Hold the lead.
Felt $4. Take $1. That's OCD. That's what that is. That's not for being unlucky. That's just OCD. I have bad luck. You're not gonna have bad luck if you have $4. Like this, $4 is $4, bruh. Like, this had been back in the day where it's like, you could put some gas in your car. You have $4. I'm like, you could approach me at a gas station telling me, oh, can I have one more dollar? Can you take $1 away? I'm like, nah, bro. That don't sound right. That's sketchy. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely OCD. That's like that lady, she was like, oh, I gotta like flick the lights on and off at a certain number. Because if it's at an odd number, then the lights won't be on correctly. But if it's at an even number, the lights... I'm like, lady, just turn the lights on. Dang. I'm like, I'm trying to read something right here, and you over there trying to have a disco session with the lights. I'm like, bruh, just turn the lights on. Either turn them off or turn them on. That's why they came out with iPhones with flashlights. After that episode came out, there's like, nah, we know how to deal with people like her. As soon as she comes home, people already got their iPhones out with the lights. Friend of mine choosing a kitten from box. Happened to be 4 in the box. He got one and scratched his eye. He killed the cat because it scratched him in his eye? That's... Nah. That's not normal. If a cat scratches me, I'm just gonna throw the thing back down and stay away from it, but I ain't gonna be like, oh, okay, let me kill the cat. That's some evil and demonic stuff. If you ain't trolling on that, your friend got some demons in him. Let's see, yeah, your friend killed it. Yeah, your friend got some demons in him. I'm like, I've been bitten by dogs and freaking, yeah, but I've never been like, oh, let me go ahead and kill it, because it bit me. I got bit by a pit bull twice, 2 different pit bulls. Never once when I was like, oh, let me kill it so I can, that's not going to change anything.
We're heading into the final round now, where it'll all be decided.
I'm like, yeah, your friend, he got some stuff going on with him. Like, no disrespect to your friend, but I'm saying that doesn't even make any sense. It's like, sell the cat or get rid of it. Lost. Yeah, a friend like that dude, he'll mess around, and it wouldn't surprise me if you're all like, if you join the stream one day and be like, hey, remember that friend I was telling you about that killed that cat? Yeah, he's in prison serving life right now. Yeah, but I still wouldn't think 4. I wouldn't be paying attention to how many. You would think 1 would be a unlucky number. But I'm like, I'm not going to look at 4 as an unlucky number because a friend of mine's, he got terrorized by a cat. Unless it was like April 4th, 2004, and you know, it was 444, and I'm like, okay, then I'm like, yeah, something don't add up. I've been like, that's not normal. But what's up, Pix? But yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna look at 4 as an unlucky number because of whatever my friend went through. Doing good, Pix. How about yourself? How about yourself? I know one thing. I should have chose the faster car. This car is just way too slow. I should be doing 150 through these turns. Cool, cool. Always good to be having a good day.
Final lap. Keep that lead intact.
Guess you, bro. I'm positive I've seen things in 4 many times, many times. I never once looked at it and been like, oh, it's an unlucky number, or been like, oh, it's an unlucky situation when there's 4. I ain't gonna be like, oh, I gotta go and get rid of $1 or ask for an extra dollar. I'm like, nah, that's doing too much. I'm too lazy to be thinking of like unlucky numbers and stuff. I was like, I already got way too much going on in my life to be like, oh, 4 is an unlucky number. I gotta go and get $5 or get $3. That's the case, I'll just spend all of it rather than, oh, I gotta spend $1 or get $1. Back for that's nah. I'm not going to. That's you. You have to be trolling on that because I ain't gonna be like, oh, I can't play a game because it has the number 4 in it. That's doing too much. That is doing way too much. What car am I using for this race? Ain't got like any faster cars I can use. Is asking to die. Nah, I ain't gonna die because of the number 4. That's you just got one too many things going on in your head to where that stuff got you paranoid and OCD. That's what that spells out. But ain't nobody gonna die because the number 4 is in their life. That's the case. I'm like, then what did you do when you was 4 years old? You just skipped 4 and went straight to 5? Like, come on now. Why'd you have to spell cum like that? Like, come on, bruh.
Because this is the grid.
Like, it's just that's just an odd way of spelling it. Yeah. Like, bro, you being a little bit extra. How your fingers slip? This not even in the same like area. today. Yeah, you being a little. I'm saying, I can see the truth in that. Just happened to the Cowboys. He probably is. It don't surprise me something happening to the Cowboys right now. Sub Hamza. Same. Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, what does that even mean? Aim of glue. I'm like, she coming out with a line of glue. I'm like, hey yo, that. I'm like, that's a deal right there. I'll come out with some hair glue. Send it to that lady that put that Gorilla Glue in her hair. She'll probably sue me. I feel like, nah, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't be that petty. I feel like he's banned because his people are just not used to his sense of humor. It's like everybody's not gonna be, you know. I don't care for it, but I just think I don't know how I messed that up. But I mean, you know, it's a. I overall talk to him about it. It's like, you know, it's just a level of respect you just gotta have for other people's streams because not everybody's gonna be the same. So, but I'm not gonna. If like he's being sus, he's being sus. Yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's that's when the stream. That's like them late night streams where it's like when everybody joins. It's like when all the like planets align. They just join my stream and they just be acting weird for no reason. That's why I just let you. When you guys start talking like that, I just let the conversation just go between you guys. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and play my game. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, you guys just be talking about whatever. I'm like, I ain't gonna get in the mix of that. I'm like, that's between you guys. I'm gonna just sit here and just play my game.
Good start. Hold the lead.
Think about it. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, wholesome. Have a good day at work. You work late? You saying it's like 4 or 5 o'clock? I'm like, he must like got like one of them like night jobs. Ain't no way I'll go into no work at this time. I'm like, please, 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm home. I'm like, that's the closing hours. I go home, I act like Banks. I'm like, close down at a certain time earlier on in the day. But I wouldn't mind like working at a night job though. I'm like, if I see any crazy stuff, like that place is haunted, I'm like, nah, I'm quitting. I'm leaving that night. I'm like, honestly, that ghost, if he just allowed me to see some stuff, he don't want me to be there, so.
3 laps left.
I'm like, I ain't fooling with no ghosts. Till 5. Hit 5 deliveries, which guarantees me 50 Finishing it through. Oh, okay, that's not bad. Plus, you're driving. I'm out here thinking about like working at Target late at night. I'm trying to. No, I don't think so. Nah. Plus, I don't really be caring about people's like sex lives. I'm like, I don't care for that. Like I said, Hamza, that's Pix's sense of humor. So it's just that's how he is. It's like if people ain't with it, then it's I'm pretty sure he can see that and they can see that, and it's like he overall respects Amos stream. So it's something where it's like the mods just didn't really catch on to it. Like, not saying anybody was wrong or right in the situation, but I'm just saying like that's his sense of humor.
To go.
Person on the mic, yeah. Yeah, everybody calm down in the chat. Ain't no reason to get on people's heads or talk about their, how mature they are, or how unmature, whatever. So everybody just chill out. Ain't gonna be no violent altercations in my chat. God. Alright, wholesome. Have some good deliveries. Like, yeah, they very well could have told him to stop. And it's like, nobody doesn't really know. So that's why it's like, it's just if they banned him, they banned him, and it's something he's gonna have to live with. If one day he comes across anyone and apologizes, maybe he might get unbanned. I don't know, but overall, I'm like, that's between him and Nema. Wow, I swear. To get unbanned. Alright, yeah, it's like, so you apologize, so it's the end of that. It's all chilled now. You apologize, and that's all that matters.
Last lap. So hold the lead through to the end now.
Yeah, it's just certain things you can't say to people. It's like you know, even if you find it not offensive or whatever, it's like there's just certain things that you can't say to certain people. You can't. Yeah, it's like there's just certain things. You might not find that offensive, but if she timed you out or if a mod timed you out, obviously it was offensive. Yeah, well, overall, it's like, yeah. It's like how you said it or however you said it. It's like, obviously, it didn't slide with them. It's just certain things that you just don't join a person's stream and start talking on. It's like, all they're doing is streaming and playing the video game and trying to have fun. Last thing that they're going to be worried about is their view count. Alright, what's this next race? Round 2. I should just switch this. Yeah, I only got like one last race to do there. Viewers count. Yeah, but it, if it's something that the person, it's like however he said it or however it came across, it's like obviously, the person got offended and they wasn't, they didn't like that. So there's just certain things you can say and certain things you can't say in the person's stream. About it. In the right place. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a thing where it's like it didn't slide with the mods. So if it wasn't about her, then it was something with the mods, and I'm like, the mods found it offensive, and overall, yeah, that's, why you got timed out. I did not mean to hit that wall. I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. I aim. Yeah, it's just something, it's like you learned from it, not to talk on that type of stuff anymore. So, it's like, as long as that's, there, where it's like, not to talk on that stuff, because it's next time it can lead into a ban. So, say it's like avoid things that you know is going to offend people. So it's like just be there, be positive, and just leave it at that. And worth it, yeah. Hey, that was pretty quick. I should have got some water. Dang. I always do that. Always going to start up a stream and forget to get water.
How you feeling about this one? Okay, hold on, sorry. It looks like things are about to get underway.
That was such a slow start. I cannot lay off that wall. And then on who's gonna make her sad. It's very terrible what to do this here. Yeah, and that's why I'm like, you should know that there's just certain things that you can't talk on and certain things that you can talk on. Last thing that a person, it's like if they're streaming, having a good time, and then out of nowhere you're like, oh, your view count's too low or whatever you said. It's, people ain't streaming for that reason. It's like, regardless of how many people are watching her stream or how high her view is or how low it is, she has people in her stream where it's like, it doesn't even matter about her view count. So it's just certain things that, you just don't need to really bring up in a person's stream. And I'm like, that's, it's something that a person don't really care for. Like, unless they're talking on that topic, then okay, talk on it. But even then, it's like, avoid on saying offensive stuff to a person. Because you don't know how that person's going to take that. Some people may be like me and don't trip about it. Then, you might get somebody that does trip about it. So I always tell people, I'm like, if you're going to be in a person's stream, it's like, you got to watch it for a little bit to see what kind of stuff they talk on. Do that. But it's like, always be positive in a person's stream. So I don't say no negative stuff. Whether you don't see it as something that's negative. But it's like, always just be respectful in people's streams. Yeah, and so, but now so It's like from this day on, or even after that day, it's like you know now not to talk on stuff like that. So it's like you can learn from that, and next time you talk on something, it's like ask yourself, you know, is this offensive? And if it is, then it's like don't talk on that topic. Because of it, yeah. So it's just that's why I say it's like best that you know if you got stuff that you just it's best to just keep certain things to yourself.
Last lap.
It's like, who is he talking? There ain't not one car near me. Then them guys must be far back. Isn't it? Unless I say stuff like harassment, races. Yeah, it's just you know, like whatever. It's like try to be neutral in conversations. It's like you might not know that, and so like that's why if you don't know about a certain topic, then don't talk on it. So that's all I'm trying to say. If there's topics that you don't know a person is chilled with, then it's like obviously it's like do not talk on that topic.
Hello, Okutama. It's race day, and Chris
Is my car smoking? Bro, I hope my Oh, that was just the rain. Never mind. It looked like it was like black smoke coming from the car. I was like, what does that even mean? I am so sorry.
Okay, don't be surprised if they're gunning for you now.
He might be busy. That person gonna try to kill me. They all the way like pretty much in last place. But yeah, it's like when I join people's streams, I don't really know them that well. I just ask them how their day's going, talk on the game they're playing, ask them, you know, about how they feel about content creating, all that stuff. But it's like view count or personal life questions and all that stuff. It's like, you know, people when they become a content creator, it's like they're not becoming a content creator that, you know, so people can talk on their statistics or people can talk on their, you know, looks or whatever it is. It's like people are obviously, you know, they're become a content creator. It's like to, you know, make friends, but it's like this. All right. But it's like word it like how you worded it in her stream. And my jaw pops loud. Man, this game is so detailed. It ain't remastered or nothing. Yeah, around 20, 30 people on Amos stream. It was a late night, so there's only 9. Says something in the lines like, only 9 people here. They probably asleep. Yeah, and it's like, regardless, it's just something that when the person's streaming, they're not paying attention to how many people are in their streams or not. So you may see it as like something that's not offensive, but it's like, this shouldn't even have been something that should have been brought up in the first place. Like, I can somewhat relate to that, because when I post videos and people are like, oh, this video only got however many views, I'm like, who cares? Like, people still watched it, people still liked it. Who cares how many people watched it? Who cares how many people are in her stream? Like, she has people there, friends on top of that. So it's like, bro, whether she has 9, 20, 30, 100, a million, like, that type of stuff, like, the statistics it matters, but at the same time, it shouldn't be, like, the main, like, conversation, starter or whatever. Care about you. Yeah, but regardless of whether it's coming from haters or it's coming from fans, I don't care how many people watch my videos. The thing is like, with all, like, content creators, you started off with, like, nothing at one point. So that's how I view it. I'm like, I still view this like I'm still that same guy that just got started. Want to hurt Ama. But yeah, it's like, but it's like, when people are hearing, like, pretty much what you just said, they're saying that to hurt me. So overall, that comment is hurtful, regardless of whether it's coming from a friend or a fan. It's like, just because you're friends with somebody doesn't mean, you could get away with saying things to them. Like, you don't know how that person's going to take that. So that's why I say, like, be aware of what you say to people. Because, obviously, the mods didn't like it, and that's why you got timed out. It's like if somebody were to, like, approach you and be like, whether it, or like, so let's say if it's like a friend of yours that approaches you and they're like, oh, you look ugly today. Like, you hear something like that and it's like, regardless of whether it's a friend or an enemy, it's like, bro, that comment's still gonna hurt, because it's like, I can't help it. This is the way I look. So it's like, just because it's coming from a friend doesn't mean like, oh, okay, it's like, it's chill to say whatever. It's not. It's like, it's just a level of respect that you have to have for people. And, yeah, and that's like, and it might be a thing where it's like, it's chilled with him. Because I don't know, maybe Ama has known him longer, or it's just the, way that he says things and just says things differently. I really don't know, because I'm not in the stream that much to be seeing, what he says and what's not being said and whatever, but got timed out first to wait until after the time is over. I got timed out. Yeah, but it's like, now so now it's like not to talk on stuff like that no more. Yeah, it's like, there's like certain things that I wouldn't say to, like, people I don't consider like close best friends or whoever, if they just like somebody I just met, I ain't gonna have that same like sense of humor or say things to them that I'll say to people that I know, because I don't know how they're gonna take that. So that's how I view it. Feeling bad about it. Sit with her mind. Yeah, so it's like now you know that it's just something that doesn't need to be said. So it's like from this day forward, don't talk on her view count. Was I on the third or on the fourth? I think I was on the fourth. I ain't gonna do one of them like hot laps. I don't even care for that no more. Dang, they got me far back. Why? You are in. It makes her. Yeah, so it's like, it's, you know, it's chill. But it's like I said, from this day forward, it's just, it's, you know, don't bring up the view count. Because it didn't sit too well with her mods. So it's just something it's like not to talk on anymore. My stream. Appreciate it, Pix. People not caring about people mentioning the view count. Yeah, it's like, it's just some people that, you know, if you know those people are chilled with that, then it's like, okay, talk to them about that. But, and people where they're not chilled, even if you don't know or know, it's like, you can't have that same, like, friendship with everybody. Because everybody not be, you know, used to what, you know, how you are with other people, friends, or whoever. Like I said, there's certain things that I would say to my friends that I'm cool with, that I've known for a while, because I'm chill with them. I know them like that. I know that they, you know, can take stuff like that. But if it's somebody I just met, I'm like, I ain't gonna have that same friendship with them. Unless they approach me like that, then I'm like, oh, then they chilled. All right, cool. But yeah, have to be careful. Yeah, but it's like not everybody's gonna, you know, have that same, like, you know, bond. So it's like, that's why something like that just couldn't work. As everybody's different in their own way. So some people might be offended by things, some people may not be offended by things. That's why it's like, you know, you just gotta have that level of respect for everybody rather than asking for something like that. Just know, okay, they chilled with this, they're not chilled with this. So I'm like, I know what to talk on and I know what not to talk on with, you know, whoever those people are. My bumper is about to fall off. Dang. That's the hood. Hood's looking good.
Listen up. Hold the lead. Last lap.
Say something. Well, I did. Yeah, but it's like whether you say it another way or whatever, it's like it doesn't matter. It's like that person doesn't want to talk on that. So it's just best not to talk on it at all rather than, oh, let me find it different. Just don't talk on it at all. It's like I said, there's like a respect that you have to like, you know, have for a person's stream. I mean, you said, I wish I could have found out that it's not okay to say, though, some other way than the way I did. It's like either way, whether another way or other way or however you want to place it, it's like just don't talk on view counts at all in her stream, so you won't get timed out or banned. That's all I'm trying to say. It's just avoid that topic so you won't have to, you know, get timed out or banned anymore. I think that was all the races for the main story. I gotta do all the other races. Those BMWs? Oh, those are Subarus. Huh. Alright. I did all the races for these. Dang, alright. For these races. But it's like, that's another thing. It's, you know, if how I like, because no, there's like friends and like family members that I'll say like some stuff. Like, I'll crack jokes with them because I know that that's like the type of jokes that like they've said to me. And so there's like, for an example, there's like black friends and black family members where it's like we'll say some stuff to each other that others will look at us and be like, oh wow, that's a crazy like sense of humor that they have with each other. But I'm like, I'm cool with them because I know them. But if it's like some random black person or whoever that I ain't never seen before, I'm like, I ain't gonna have that same sense of humor with them because I don't know them like that. So it's like, even if I am their friend, I'm like, I just feel like that there's just a level of respect that you have for that person. And it's like, if you guys ever like sit down and decide to like, oh, okay, either talk or just one day just come out and just crack jokes on each other and things and overall see what happens. But it's like, you just gotta be on like that same lane with that person, so you know, like now it's like, oh, okay, I can't say this or I can't do this or whatever it is. So that's why I'm like, just have respect for those around you. And then there's just certain topics, just don't talk about in people's streams. And from there, everything should be cool. What's up, Jet? Yeah, she's cool. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it just gotta be cautious and careful of what you say to her.
After an intense, grueling, high-octane stock car
Could have
series,
been a lot worse. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that worse, don't ever say that stuff in her stream. It's Nano. Well, whether it's Nano, Ama, whoever, it's like, just don't say things that you know that's going to make people upset. It's like, I know it was Nano, but I'm just saying, for whoever's sake, like, in case there might be a day where it is her, it's like, just avoid certain topics in her stream. How's your day going, Jet? How's that champ? Didn't you say you had a championship game last night? How's that? Or today? Won a championship, dropped 34. Picture of me in the gym. 2 championship trophies. Got placed in the LA Hall of Fame Art School. I'm saying, bro, based off of this stuff you be telling me, I'm like, it don't surprise me. So, it honestly does not surprise me.
Start, hold the lead.
Dang it. Shout out to Texaco. She DM'd me. Yeah, it's like, you know, especially just with all the topics like about mental health today, it's like you always got to reach out to people if they're dealing with something. Like, you know, reach out to them, see if they good. Of course, my teammate's in last place.
Final lap, keep that lead intact.
She loves everybody in her stream. Yeah. That's why I'm like, yeah, Ama, she's like one of the, like, if not the dopest person I have to say I ever did come across on Twitch, where it's like, you know, she's very welcoming to anybody that follows. So it's like, that's why I'm like, you know, you, her streams, I'm like, it's just, it's unmatched. Walking Dead and Stupid, they killed off Ed. Should have made it Carol kills him. Close to the episode. Shane dies. Ed. Who was Ed again? Dang, I can't remember who Ed was, but Shane's death, I was like, hey, yo, he had to go. Way he was acting, I'm like, bruh. I don't think I would, like, bro, that's just something I could not do. If it's my best friend and I think he done died, I could never in life, like, do some stuff like that. Be with, like, my, you know, best friend's, like, wife. Because I didn't think he done died. I'm like, that was... Oh, yeah, they should have definitely had it where Shane killed them. He just beat him, but he didn't kill him. Because I didn't feel like that's what had been like, okay, so we would have seen that long beforehand. Shane was crazy. Everybody just thought that man was just being protective. Like, nah, Shane had anger issues. But yeah, when, I still trip on that, though. I'm like, bro, you broke the bro code on that. I think Carol should kill. Oh, yeah, Carol definitely, in this day and age, Carol would have killed them. Carol would have she either would have let, like, a zombie bite him or just wait till he went to sleep and put a knife through his head. But Carol would have killed them. Hands down 100%. That's not something, that's not even up for, like, a discussion. I'm like, no, I know she would have killed them.
From the mountains to the sea, everyone knows.
She's worried about me because I told her a story. See that happening. Yeah, it's like nobody doesn't want to see that happening. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when people hear that type of stuff, they obviously going to be concerned and want to check up on you and see if you good. That's what I was trying to say in the previous stream when you told me about it. It's like people ain't going to, like, hear stuff like that and just be like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, nah, people going to be concerned by that type of stuff. Bruh.
Great first lap, you're leading the race.
Where did they got us racing? I just realized this is like some freaking, like, crater just with trees, and I do not get this. This don't look right. I know one thing, that mountain is huge.
Alright, listen, you've just gone past the halfway stage of the
But yeah,
race.
them first couple of seasons of Walking Dead. Season 2, I think, will forever be my favorite season. Season 2, it was just so many, like, plot twists and crazy deaths and all that different wild stuff that was going on in The Walking Dead. I'm like, Season 2 will forever be a good season of The Walking Dead. Like, they had other good seasons, but Season 2 was like, that was like peak Walking Dead. I mean, it's still good to this day. I still watch it. But Season 2 was like, man, I didn't realize the show can get that good. And, like, not even knowing what Walking Dead was, I was like, hey, yo, that's a show right there. I'll be sad when it gets to its, like, final episode. I'm like, dang.
Hold the lead.
Like, I started...
Now.
Hear Andrew Lincoln say, what did he say? I know they making some movies surrounding his character, but what's going on? Now I'm nervous because I'm like, dang. Like, I hope it ain't no crazy stuff. gonna what? He gonna say season 2 is his favorite season also? I'm like, that was a good season. Like, I still watch like moments from that season. I was like, leaving The Walking Dead was a terrible decision. He misses working and living in Georgia. Come back home for my kids. Now they're sick of me, and I wish I never left. It's a terrible decision to leave walking. Well, I know he's gonna be coming back for the movies, so. But yeah, I was like, man, yeah, he shouldn't. That's why they had it where his character didn't get killed off. They still let that opportunity, like, you know, be there where he can come back and stuff. So. But yeah, I'm like, bruh, you was like the head honcho of the show. Like, you didn't even need to leave. Like, you was killing it, bruh. Like, I'm saying, if I'm killing it that good on the show, I'm not going to leave that show. Think if it come that he could convince them to do season 12. Maybe. It can be possible. That's the case. I'm like, and they just straight up lied with this show where they're like, but who knows? He might be like, they do another show, then they just, you know, he's on that. Because I know they did say they're going to do like another Walking Dead show. So if he does, I'm like, okay. It's like they really thought they were going to win this race. I like this track because it ain't like a bunch of different wild turns. It's just one big circle. I know there was like, what episode was it of this season? I don't know if you are watching this season or if you're all caught up, but there is a scene in there. I don't know. I don't think it's really a spoiler. But I don't know if you've seen this, but it was a scene in there where I was like, why they gotta show this, man? Like, it wasn't like nobody dying or nothing. It was just, you know, it was just like a little scene that they decided to add in, I guess, like to add some minutes to the show. And I was like, they don't need to add that type of stuff. Like, do anything else, but just don't do that. Like, kill off. I would rather see a character get killed off than to see that. That choice coming to actor, I would choose to act in movies over shows. So if Andrew Lincoln acts in a movie, everyone's just going to be thinking of him as Rick Grimes. But people like Brad Pitt can act in any show or movie. I know, right? No, that's one thing I have said. Like, because look at the guy, Carlton, from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, nobody doesn't refer to him as Alfonso Ribeiro. I think that's his last name. They call him Carlton. Versus, like, okay, like Will Smith, for an example. Even though he got started on that show, like, people know him. They're all like, oh, yeah, Fresh Prince, all the other movies he done did. Like, he's just one of those actors where it's like he can do anything and, you know, make a name for himself. That he got more. Yeah. No, because I feel like with him, he just didn't want to settle for, like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I feel like all those other guys, they wanted to, but it was like, he was the main star of the show, of course. I mean, everybody else had their roles and being stars and things, but he had to be that guy that was like, okay, I got to be the one to, like, make it. And I think everybody else, I think Ashley, I think she had like a TV show. I think they say Hillary, she retired from acting for a while. And then, of course, Uncle Phil, he passed away. The two Aunt Vivians, I don't know what the first Aunt Vivian was doing, but I know the second Aunt Vivian, she was in this Harriet Tubman movie that came out, I think, what, last year or a couple of years ago? He got so many roles because his dad, like, he started crying. People realize. Sitcom. I know, yeah. He had so many, besides that, he had so many other, like, serious moments on that show. I have to say another serious moment that's very underrated is when Carlton had accidentally took those pills and it was like speed or something and he was acting all wild and stuff. That was another like serious episode of Will's that's like nobody talks on that episode. That's like a very like underrated like serious moment for Will. I don't know if that happened before or after the dad episode, but that's like honestly though, that's when you that one funny friend that gets upset and mad, then you're like, oh wow, this is serious. Like dang, I didn't know he had it in him. That's Will. That's definitely Will Smith. I can't wait because he got a movie coming out here soon where he's being Serena and Venus Williams' father. And it's like getting them into like when they were kids and he's getting them into tennis. I'm like, that movie looked like that's going to be good. Because I'm like, they never did no movie about Serena and Venus Williams. If they did, it was probably like them like early 2000s like BET movies. They didn't do so good. And then, of course, like, people like Ryan Reynolds can only stay in comedy genre. People like Will Smith, Leonardo DiCaprio, acting. No, Ryan Reynolds, he did do this one movie where it wasn't a comedy. That movie was crazy. It was, dang, what was that movie called? It was this movie where he overall got, like, buried alive. And that movie was just so crazy, like, overall what had happened. That was a good movie. That was a movie where he wasn't, like, playing a serious... He was stuck. Yeah. That movie was crazy. He didn't really have a comedy role in that movie, but still, it was a crazy movie. They had me in that movie. They probably, if they had been like, okay, just act out what you would really do in a situation like this. But I had been crying, probably had passed out, and I would have died first 10 minutes of that movie. Rose after that. No, yeah, that's true. He does have, like, his moments where he is serious in movies, but they're not serious. Like, they're still comedies and stuff. So, yeah, I think that's why, he's just always considered a comedy actor, because he can have his moments, but it's more so, like, he's just being serious in them. I know one thing. It is hot. But... I think I'm going to go ahead, call it a day with this stream. I feel like it was a pretty good stream. How long did I stream? 2 hours? That was good. That was a good enough stream. So everybody get their final words out. So I'm about to hit this end stream here in a second. I need to play more. I need to finish off Grid, though. That's like one game where I'm like, I need to finish that game off quick. See, Hamza. But in the meantime, I will talk to everybody later. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Ain't nobody followed or did nothing, so I can't really shout nobody out. But I will talk to everybody later. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Stay tuned for tonight's stream. Obviously, everybody knows that. But yeah, talk to y'all later. Peace.